This video is in response to some questions about the photo simulations for CN5866 done by Previsualists Incorporated. I'm Don Carmichael, the owner of Previsualists, and this video is simply to address the issues between the differences between viewpoint 1 and viewpoint 2. Apparently, some people think that this looks odd or out of place. What I want to show you is the computer 3D model that was built of the building, built to scale, as well as the proposed faux vent pipes and chimneys that are a part of the application. And what we're looking at here is viewpoint 1. This is looking across the intersection of Jackson and Hyde. And in this viewpoint, we're very close to the building, looking up at the building, and the parapet blocks the view of the vent pipes, which are set back pretty far from the building. Obviously, if something is set back a ways, then it's going to be less visible the closer you get to the building. So let's go ahead and move up to viewpoint 2. Farther up the hill, it's higher in elevation, so you're looking at a flatter roof. You're farther away, so the parapet is providing less screening. Obviously, if we were all the way up looking down on it, you could see the whole thing, but we are not. And in the viewpoints, the nearby trees and buildings provide sufficient screening to where it is not visible from other locations farther up the hill. So in addition, were questions about the lower viewpoints. Let's go ahead and go down the hill to the original viewpoint. In this case, you can see the two chimneys peeking up over the top of the parapet, but as you can see in the photo simulation, there is a number of trees along the side of the street on both sides, and this viewpoint was taken without the luxury of actually having chimneys up there. So we walked along the sidewalk and took pictures every 10 feet, trying to provide the most representative points of view. This is the viewpoint that showed the most of the chimneys. Obviously, as you go up closer to the building, the parapet starts to screen it because there is a setback to the chimneys. So this is the next viewpoint we took up the sidewalk. Clearly, as you go up the street, if you're directly across the street, you won't be able to see the chimneys at all. Here we've got a little bit of it peeking over. You can't step back any farther on the sidewalk because you're against a building, and because of the setback, these chimneys are barely visible in some locations and completely obscured in others, and in every case not a distraction or a huge visual impact. So we will provide this viewpoint, the next viewpoint up from view 3, in order to show what it would look like for the average user or the pedestrians walking down the street. Now let's go ahead and go back up to viewpoint 1, and I'm going to go through the same views in wireframe mode so you can see through the building, see where the things are on the other side. You can see the chimneys and what is hidden and what isn't. This is viewpoint 1. We come up the hill to viewpoint 2, go back down the hill to the original viewpoint 3, the new lower viewpoint, and then from directly across the street, what would be visible. So I hope that answers the question. This is the aerial of the area. This is the building. And here along Jackson Street, the viewpoints that we selected were the best viewpoints that we could come up with in order to illustrate the most representative viewpoints along the pedestrian side of Jackson Street. Clearly on the south side of the street, nothing will be visible, and we can't go any farther north because of the row of buildings. Up and down Hyde Street, we've got vegetation that causes significant blocking, and the tall buildings around all the other sides of the building create blocking. So this is a very difficult site to photograph because the proposed antennas are not visible from very many places. So hopefully the photo simulations represent that this is not a very visible project, and I hope this video answers the questions. If not, feel free to email or give us a call.